Bold.
Steady.
Bold beats steady.
Of course. And by the way, this is why, well, no, this isn't in particular, but the fact that he constantly gets to go first is why getting the initiative is so powerful. Not that that had anything to do with these particular cards, but...
But it does make a huge difference. It's kind of like having rock, paper, scissors, but having your friend always win when you both put up rocks. Kind of decreases your chances a little bit. So I'm going to empower Luther Huss again. And I get to activate 3 dudes. So I'm going to activate the steam... Ooh, how am I going to activate the steam tank? If I get any closer, is that actually going to help me at all? Probably not. If I get too close, that could be... Oh! I'm going to activate the Hellblaster Volley Gun. Now, siege weapons. Siege weapons are like any other ranged weapon, but they have siege range. Siege range is anything that is not within the range ruler. So whenever you fire outside the range ruler, you only hit on crits results. But if the siege weapon were to fire at something that was actually in the range ruler, then you hit just like a normal ranged weapon. Which I did not know until recently.
Okay.
It was very obscure. There's like an itty-bitty paragraph example where I had to figure it out. It was obnoxious. So I activate the Hellblaster Volley Gun, and I'm going to shoot at Grom the Paunch before he decides to tear through my forces with his relentless impact ability. Okay, so the miss does nothing, the chaos does nothing, and the scatter is I re-roll the scatter result against the nearest disc within short range of my target, which is going to be Grimgor Ironhide. If I hit him, that'd be great too. That's
no!
Okay.
Denied!
Alright, well...
Grimgor cares not for your shenanigans.
Ooh. I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to activate the steam tank. Bang! Deal 3 impact damage to the Black Orcs. Which ought to help finalize that combat. And then he is just in short range of Grom the Paunch, and he's going to shoot at Grom the Paunch. And that gives me the crit that I want. Chaos does nothing, Miss does nothing. So he is now activated and takes 3 points of damage. And now for my last activation, I'm going to activate the Huntsmen before they inevitably get into melee. And they are going to shoot at Grimgor. See if I can't keep Grimgor pinned. And I get
oh my god!
2 crits on Grimgor.
No! No!
And he takes 4 points of damage, which is enough to deal him a wound.
Oh, that's perfect.
Actually, that's...
Thank you. His ability is that when he takes a wound, he removes an activation.
Which completely defeats the purpose of why it was I shot at him in the first place.
So that was awesome.
So, your turn.
All right. I perhaps should think about... Oh, I have eager troops again, so my guys are fast. And I really should consider moving Grimgor now because, well, that would be a good thing for me.
Just so you know, that Iron Fang Shaman is actually super duper wicked powerful.
Oh, I know. I know. He is,
assuming he lives long enough to use his magic even once.
All right, so I'm going to move him. He can move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's not forget his wound.
And the fact that he's activated again.
So that is 1.
That's going to be a problem.
for 2. Oh man, I need to get the shaman about here, if I could. You know what? Let's move him. Oh, except that he can't
move and use his magic.
Can't move and use his magic. So maybe I won't worry about that.
But that will
the
give
moment.
him closer for Fists of Mork.
Well, there's that. That's a good point. But he doesn't need to do that now. I have 2 left. I'm going to use my big boss. He's going to go 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he is activated. That's 2. And I'm going to move up some orc boys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they are activated. So that is that. Okay?
Push.
Steady, steady.
So I go first.
He goes first again.
All right. Empower target disc within medium range of a hero. I'm going to empower the steam tank.
Oh, that means he actually has an attack value now.
That's true. I didn't even think about that. I was mostly thinking about the stamina bonus.
Yeah, his starting attack value is 0.
All right. And I get to activate 3 dudes. And I'm going to start by activating the Bright Wizard. He's going to deal himself a damage and activate in order to finish off the Black Orcs with his magic.
No.
Zap.
By the way, no dice rolling for magic. It just deals its damage.
So that was 1. And then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to be out of my range if I do that. 5. Oh, actually, you're like just in. Cool. So he is activated. And then I'm going to activate Karl Franz. And he is going to use his special ability, move up to 2 activation tokens from allies within long range. Oh, it's long range. Oh. To other unpinned, unactivated allies within long range. So I'm going to remove this activation token and this activation token from the Steam Tank and the Knights Panther and move them to both of the Marienburg Swordsmen. Oh, unpinned. And that guy's pinned. So the Marienburg Swordsman and the Talabheim Greatswords.
All right, so you're done?
Yep.
All right, so Strength of Gork. I get to, again, use Strength of Gork on one of my discs, any of my Orky discs. And I think that, let me see, Grimgor right now is beating the crap out of either one of those guys, except that the Luther Huss. I like Hiss. You know what? We're going to give it to Grimgor because he's Grimgor, not because it's necessarily a good thing. All right. That's the Orky way. Now I get to activate 3 of my discs. I am going to take the range ruler from you, check the long range, and see that I can do that and possibly hit my own guy. That sounds great. But I could not fire at that guy, which is not so great. I can fire at that guy, and I like that because he's really close. So, yes, we are going to fire. Let's activate him. 2 dice. Error boys, fire at the Knights Panther. For 1 hit.
And how much damage you do? 2. Because I'm resistant to physical damage, they take 1.
Well, that's less good. I'm going to move up my shaman. He can move up to 4. 1, 2.
Not that you necessarily want to move up that far. Just so you remember, both of these guys are unactivated now.
Yeah, I know. Do either of them have Relentless?
Neither of them have Relentless.
Okay, I'm going to move to here. Right there. I like it right there. And then I'm going to move up these orc boys. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ha ha! And that's it.
Oh, actually, I just remembered something.
You know what? While you're still thinking,
I'm going to do that first. Okay. Well, I mean, if you want to reset it, okay.
fine.
Rally. Slow.
Fist of Mork is devious, which means, surprisingly, I get to go first. Caster deal 2d6 minus 2.
1d6. 1d6.
D6 minus 2, sorry. D6 minus 2 damage to target disc within medium range. So that gives me a lot of possible options, like that guy over there, which I like the idea of killing him. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. It's going to be D6 minus 2.
And you're also going to want to roll that die because it is unstable. And that could prove very bad.
Cool. All right, so 3 points of damage to Luther.
Except that he is also resistant to arcane damage, so he only takes 2.
Is there anything he's not resistant to?
Straight up damage, which high elves are the only ones that do that right now.
Well, that sucks.
Oh, and that hits everything within short range of it.
Oh, right. So Fist of Mork, in addition to hitting its target, hits everything within short range. Oh.
Of the target,
Of
including
the target.
Grimgore.
Well, that's...
So you hit all of these
that
things.
was less good. Do I roll for
No,
each?
you did 3 damage. So it's 3 damage against everything. So that takes 3. My Huntsman take 3. Grimgore takes 3. And Karl Franz takes 3. Because now there's just a big orc god going blah, 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 over the battlefield.
All right. That was a very orky thing for me to do. So that was that. Now I got... essentially, I can activate the rest of my guys. The Error Boys here, I think... Yeah, they can fire at those guys and hopefully not hit... hopefully not hit Grimgore.
Neither.
Or hit anything, for that matter. So they hit nothing.
Also a very orky thing to do.
Hey. All right. Orc boys. We're just going to move out then. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I am done.
All right, so now I get to remove an activation token from a target non-hero disc within short range. And the Bright Wizard is not a hero. So I'm going to remove his activation token. And then I get to activate 2 troops. And so in this particular case, I'm going to do first the easy thing, which I'm going to flip the steam tank, dealing 3 impact damage to Grom, which finishes him off.
No!
Alright, and then this part is tricky because there are a lot of you over there. I guess I should do something at least semi-intelligent here. I'm just going to land on one of you, which deals 3 impact damage to them. That will finish them off in melee. And so that was my 2 activations. And now I have 1 unit left to activate, which means I get to play, or we both get to play, our last card. Fulminating Cage.
Steady.
Devious. Steady goes before Devious, but that doesn't have a special ability, and it doesn't look like you have anything left to activate.
I do not.
Oh, you know what? I might actually be wrong. When this unit takes...
A wound.
Oh, a wound. He hasn't taken a wound. Okay. I was going to say, if that 3 points of damage unactivated him, then you could use him. So, Steady goes before Devious, so you go, but nothing happens, and then I Fulminating Cage. So, Fulminating Cage comes from the Bright Wizard and attacks Grimgor, since he is in medium range. And I deal d6 minus 2 damage. So I deal 2 points of damage, which is enough to wound Grimgor again.
Sweet! That means he's unactivated.
But because this was the last card that we played...
But it's not my turn yet.
It was your turn first. Steady goes before Devious.
Oh! Well, that sucks.
And then he's going to deal himself another damage to activate and deal 3 points of damage to Grimgor.
By the way, in case this isn't completely apparent to absolutely everybody, Tim knows this game a whole lot more than I do.
I've played like 10 games of this so far. All right, and that is the activation phase. So now we move on to melee.
Okay, so who goes first?
Over here, are you swift? You are swift. So over here, you actually get to pick your target, and you get to swing first. So in this case, you could either outright kill the Huntsman, or deal a wound to Luther Huss.
I'm going to kill the Huntsman.
Kill the Huntsman. So that removes them from the combat before they are even able to retaliate. And then Luther Huss then strikes back with 5 points of damage, which is enough to finish off Grimgor.
Not before he does damage to you, though, right? Oh, no.
Nope,
He's already dealt his damage.
He's already dealt his damage.
He's already dealt his damage, so Grimgor goes away.
If he had Frenzy, then he would then deal damage to everybody.
Right.
So that is that. And then we've got one more melee over here, where this is simultaneous. So you deal 3 points of damage to me, which halved is 2 points. And I deal 5 points of damage to you, which kills you off.
Okay. And that ends the turn.
Cool.
Turn
3.
Turn 3.
Of 5. Push.
Devious.
Steady. And Steady goes before Devious.
Of course.
And this is also part of the game, is knowing which cards your opponent is going to play. Because I kind of figured that Fists of Mork would have been his first choice.
What goes before Steady?
Bold.
Yeah, I don't have any of those.
Oh, you didn't pick any bolds. Okay. I wasn't paying attention. Okay. So I get to empower a disc again. So Luther Huss is going to empower himself. And the steam tank is going to go on top of those guys, dealing 3 impact damage to both. And he's going to shoot at the orc boys right there. Now, those of you that have played Warhammer Fantasy before will be scratching your heads going, wait, that's not right. And this game doesn't really make a distinction in melee. You can shoot while you're in melee. You can shoot out of melee. All that matters is whether or not you are pinned or pinning or being pinned. So, orc boys, bang. The scatter, which is going to go against the Aura boys. The crit, which is going to hit them. And nothing happens against the Aura boys. So, activated and 3 points of damage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to activate the Knights Panther. 1, 2, which finishes off these orc boys with impact damage. does 3 damage to them. And the Hellblaster volley gun is going to fire at the Auror boys. Two misses is actually very important. So I deal D6 points of damage to the Auror boys. So that's enough to kill them. The Auror boys right here.
Oh.
2 misses for either the volley gun or the steam tank is a immediate wound to the weapon being fired. So that takes a wound.
You're doing more damage than I am to yourself.
All right, and that was my card. So Fists of Mork.
Fist of Mork. All right, caster, deal D6 -2 to target disc within medium range of the caster. So really my only choices are to destroy all of my own guys or to do it on Luther, which I think I'm going to do. So D6, please.
And again, just so you know, the special abilities still work even if you're pinned.
Please don't. Please don't blow up on yourself. Please don't blow up on yourself. Please don't blow up on yourself.
You do not blow up on yourself.
Oh, and I did maximum damage.
So, which is still only 2 damage.
It's only 2 damage because you're stupid.
But that's still 4.
Another 4 damage to him, yeah. Oh, that's not going to be enough to hurt him either. Ugh! That's so annoying.
Okay. And just so everybody knows, the reason he's rolling this die as well is because of unstable. And if he were to roll the chaos symbol while attacking my own guy, he would target himself as well, which would have been hilarious because that would have meant that everything over here would have taken the damage as well.
That would have ended the game real quick. All right, so I have 3 people I can activate, but I only have 1 person that can activate, or 1 unit, and that is these orc boys. So, do I want to put them into a scrum? They won't do much against those Knights Panther. They have an attack value of 5. Well, I guess... Oh, and they're resistant.
Which would deal 3 points of damage.
3 points, which would do almost nothing, but he's going to do... You know what? I am going to put it in there. They aren't swift, which means that he's going to take damage from them and them, which is going to kill them. So, boom.
All right.
But not before, yeah.
Not before reinforcements arrive.
Actually, I think everybody there is going to die.
I'm fairly certain that this is probably... I mean, aside from the fight with the steam tank, because the steam tank doesn't have an attack value... the fights are not going to end favorably necessarily. Do that. Bold.
Steady.
Bold goes before steady. Alright, and I'm going to... is that medium range of a hero? So I'm going to empower the steam tank.
Okay.
I'm going to activate Luther Huss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just missed.
Nice.
Okay. And then you aren't swift.
That entire scrum is going to evaporate whether you like it or not.
Alright, so that was 1. And then for 2... I'm going to remove the activation tokens from these 2 units using Karl Franz. And I'm going to give them to Marienburg Swordsman and Talabheim Greatswords. This is a little bit on the dangerous side. So that was 1, 2... And for 3, I'm going to activate the steam tank. And the steam tank is going to go right there, which doesn't do any additional impact damage because he didn't actually leave that disc. And he's going to fire at the big boss. Which finishes off the big boss. And 2 scatters. So 1 scatter goes against the shaman. The other one goes against one of these 2, whichever one is closest. I'm not sure if it's the steam tank or... Okay, it's the steam tank. Alright, so big boss dies.
No!
Stonefang Shaman is a miss. Steam tank is a miss. And that was my 1, 2, 3 activations.
So on my turn, all I can really do is the special ability of the card, which is Strength of Gork. And I think we're going to put that on these error boys down at the bottom of this scrum. You know what? That doesn't make any sense. We're going to put it on the orc boys on the top of the scrum because they'll actually be alive to benefit from it. All right. So now the next turn. Do I do that? What's that?
10 minutes. Do you want me to?
What?
10 minutes left?
No, we're good. We're fine.
Yeah, we're fine.
It's 20 minutes total, so this turn is going to go really fast.
Indeed. So steady goes before devious. You don't have anything left to activate. So I just have my fulminating cage. So I'm going to activate the Bright Wizard. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get him close enough to make the fulminating cage work. I'm going to fulminating cage. I'm going to fulminating cage those orc boys.
No!
If I roll a 6, that is not a 6. I deal 1 point of damage.
I got nothing, so...
Yeah, I have one last guy to activate, and he is also going to shoot at those orc boys. Oh, of course, chances of catastrophe for this shot are very high.
Let's hope for it.
Okay, so this are both hits against them. This is going to go against the Knights Panther. So, roll against the Knights Panther. Okay, I hit myself. 2 points of damage to everything. So it's actually 2 points and 2 points, which is enough to finish them off. I deal 4 points in total there.
He's got 5 right now because of this.
Does that increase his stamina?
I think so.
I thought it was just strength.
Oh, you're right.
I mean, that would have been 5 total damage anyways.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No.
That's fine.
And then I deal 1 point of damage to myself.
No. Well, this is turning into a short game.
Okay, that was everything. Everything is activated, except for this one guy that's been pinned for the entire game. So melee phase. Over here, I actually have an attack value. So I deal 1 point of damage to you, which finishes you off. You have counter strength of 2, but I'm resistant, so I do take 1 point back. And then over here, I have an attack strength of 5, which kills you. You have a counter strength of 3 in half, means I take 2.
And that ends the game.
And that ends the game.
So, yeah, that was embarrassing. But normally, this is kind of how things go when I play Tim. He's just better at this stuff in general. I think he's just getting back at me from all those games when he was really little and he didn't win. and he would cry when he lost.
Shh.
So, yeah, I don't know, Tim, what do you think? How did I do? What did I do wrong?
You advanced way too quickly. I think that, especially when you moved Grom the Paunch so close to all of my guys very quickly, I mean, you know, the goal of any good orc is to charge quickly into combat, but if you had given yourself a little bit of time to reinforce your front line right here, I'm fairly certain that it would have been a very different game, because as it was, I mean, this right here was kind of something that we didn't necessarily see coming.
You mean the
the river troll? Yeah,
the river troll in the windmill, and I wasn't really expecting you to use feint to completely negate that. So, yeah, I think that was a problem.
But aside from that, you know, ignoring this portion of the game, the biggest issue came with how piecemeal your forces came in. I mean, Grimgor and the Black Orcs came in, and I was able to deal with them relatively quickly with all of my combined ranged attacks and magic. And then Grom the Paunch was, you know, sitting relatively out in the open, and in the end, I just kind of cut all of your guys down with ranged attacks and kill them piecemeal because they were slowly trundling from your deployment zone. When if you had waited like one more turn to group all your guys together, then at the very least, when I did attack you, you would have been able to jump on me quickly.
Yeah. Well, next time. If nothing else, I mean, this was good for showing people how to play, and it didn't have to drag out too long. And I'll just keep telling myself that. And, yeah. So anyway, thanks, Tim.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. And thank you for watching. Oh, yeah. Whatever. And we'll talk to you later. Hey, by the way, remember, if you liked this video, hit like on the video. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. And
check out my channel.
Oh, and check out Tim's channel. There's a link right around here.
Right here.
Somewhere. Right there.
Or maybe we'll like fit in an annotation, like right here or something.
Actually, there won't be a link right here. I'll mention it right here, but it won't. Actually, no, it will work, won't it? It'll work. There's a link. Click it. Anyway, that's it. We'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.